Hey guys, welcome to Two Bros with Benefits. We are your co-hosts. I'm Jake,
And I'm Kevin.
and this is episode 9 of Two Bros with Benefits. Kevin, I got a question for you. At what point do we stop saying the number of the episode and
When
then
we get
just
to
say welcome back to an episode?
163.
Oh, 163. I
Episode
didn't know if we would go
163.
into the three
Yeah.
digits. Welcome back. It's episode 163.
I went to the podcast guidelines rules online, and that's what it said. So
That's what it said, 163.
163.
Well, guys, we got a really good
number.
show for you guys tonight. We got some really good, I think, Spitfire questions. I'm excited, and we got a couple.
I feel like it's been a minute. We took a week off, just hanging out with our families and doing different stuff. But hell,
It's been really
4-hour podcast we did with Kern wore us all out, I think.
I think it did. There's a lot of editing.
Yeah.
But we made sure to kind of make up for it by throwing you guys a little bit of a old school prank phone call. So I hope that at least got you through for the time being. But yeah, we're back into this episode. We got a really good guest. As always, it's somebody we've known for a really long time. We got interesting hot topics to ask him, and then a lot of fun Spitfire questions for him. So with that, I think we'll just go ahead and get into it. You ready?
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Hey guys, it's Kevin and Jake with Two Bros with Benefits podcast. We're back with episode number 9. We'll count it as 9 because last week we sent some old pranks that we did. We snipped them together and put them out there, so we'll count that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully more to come from those as well.
Yeah.
It's
so we got 100 and what, 50?
Yeah, I told Jake earlier. I was looking at the podcast guidelines, and you have to say which episode you're on until you get to 163. That's the rule.
Right. So then you can stop. And then you can just say, "Hey, welcome back to the next episode," or whatever.
Now this could be a made up rule that I just made up in my own mind, but it's in the podcast guidelines.
It's guidelines.
Just search it. It's on there.
Right. Google it.
Yeah, just Google it.
Just Yahoo it.
But yeah, Jake, did you have a nice weekend, long weekend?
Oh, I did, man. And I was nice and sober. I've been trying to lose some weight, so I cut back on my drinking. This is my only drink night, and been watching what I eat. So
you're gonna get super
on my back
tonight.
Nice. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I didn't eat much, so we'll see how it goes. And then just watched, Notre Dame bring it home against Texas A&M, which was really nice. Go Irish! For all you college football fans out there, we're big Notre Dame fans, so that's just our region, where we grew up. It's what we like. It's nice and tradition, and we're big Irish families. Actually, I think in this area it's probably mostly corn-fed Germans. That's why everybody's obese in the Midwest. But
that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm Irish. My wife's Irish, and we named my daughter Iris because she is Irish.
Well, there's a lot.
Anyways,
sorry I asked.
Yeah, sorry. A lot of useless information. Cut that.
Yeah,
we'll
cut it all. Let's cut it all. Damn. Shouldn't have even
Anyways, yeah, just watch a lot of football, watch Notre Dame win, and now it's Thursday for you guys that'll see this. This will be Sunday or Monday of next week, but tonight is the opening night of the NFL. So right now the Chiefs-Ravens game's on, so you might see me glance up at it. But I am giving my undivided attention. Anyways, I think if anything, we should probably get into maybe our contest winners for last episode. We can announce those, and then we can get the show going.
If you remember from not the last episode, but the previous episode when we had Josh Kern on, our brother-in-law, we asked a question based off of the episode before with Drew, what the flag was that he had in the back of his in the scenery in his background. The flag was the American flag. We did have a few people reach out, and
thank you guys.
One of them was Ryan Hare, and he has already been on the podcast, so he got a little something from us already. We had 2 other people reach out with the correct answer, and both of them will be receiving some super sweet swag from us. That's what we're going to start calling it, super sweet swag.
Yeah, super sweet swag. I love it.
Yeah. So
go ahead and name who those were.
Yeah. So those were Irene. I don't know if I know her last name.
Irene Saldago.
There we go. There we go.
That is our friend
John
John's fiance.
And then the other one was
to her.
Congratulations to her, and don't let John see it. Don't let him have it. He didn't win it. You won it. And the other one was our buddy, our longtime friend Josh Barnes. He also got the correct answer. So thank you for watching and commenting, and keep them coming. We'll be sending out some swag to you guys.
Yeah, thank you for your continued support. We really do appreciate it, because I know Josh has emailed us a couple times. So keep it up, guys. Congratulations, Irene and Josh, and like I said, we appreciate you guys emailing us.
Hell yeah. So tonight we've got another one of our bros on. I'll start by giving my little 2 cents on this a-hole. Him and I have known each other since we were probably 6. So over 30 years we've been friends. Grew up together. I was either at his house or he was at mine, and we were at another friend's house pretty much all the time through grade school, even really through high school. We just all been through everything together. Like, we're in each other's weddings. We've seen each other, become parents, become husbands. Sometimes I feel like he's a wife to his significant other. He's he kind of wears she kind of wears the pants in the relationship.
Yeah.
I'll take that
the
out.
apron.
I was just joking. Yeah, he wears the apron.
Cut that.
But yeah, again, somebody I've been really close with since I was 5 or 6. He was actually the best man at my wedding. My brother didn't make the cut. This guy made it instead. So Jake, what do you guys say?
This is somebody, again, that I've known for a pretty long time, longer than I actually really knew him. I played sports with him whenever I was young in Tiger Cup basketball. Go Magic. And and then, in high school, he was in my homeroom, and I will say he's one of the funniest guys I've grown up with. Really funny, but also very intelligent, and just a good, down-to-earth, good human being. And that's what we like to surround ourselves with. And really, if you ever had anything, you could come to him, and he'd give you the shirt off his back. So that's all I got to say about him. And other than that, he's pretty terrible, but a good human being. Terrible, but good.
Terrible, but a good human being.
Terrible, good.
But yeah, so he's we've had somebody else on that's related to him. We like to call this person his sidekick. This is Nick Bragin.
He's the Robin to the Batman. Hey!
Jake,
I bet he didn't like that. Yeah, that was your cue to just turn it off.
Take your shirt off. Yeah. So what's up, dude?
Well, I'm doing this under protest.
Nice.
Yeah, that's right.
Call me sidekick. I'm done.
I know. I figured you liked that. Whenever I called you, and then I called you Robin.
Yeah. Didn't get lost on me.
Yeah. That was a joke. My brother-in-law started calling him. What was it? No, you were the sausage sensation Bragin. Remember that?
He called Paul sausage sensation, didn't he?
Oh, and you were citing. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I don't remember.
It was kind of stupid. There was a pizza at Papa John's called the sausage sensation, and for whatever reason that became your name.
Yeah.
That's the two bros manipulation, is we try to get you all, aggroed out so you'll say something that gets you canceled.
Yeah.
And hopefully it works.
Some people are closer to the edge.
Some people might look at it like we had Paul on first because we like him better. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, you could say that I'm a pretty exclusive guest. It's been really highly sought after on your end to get on the show.
Mm-hmm. This is very true.
A lot of coordination, and finally, the stars aligned.
We couldn't come up with a contract deal with your agent.
There was something you told me that we had to say. I can't remember what it was. Do you remember?
Something about being highly sought after, or like your most exclusive guest. Yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying.
That's it. Yeah,
we couldn't come to an agreement with your agent. The contract, you kept asking for more and more money.
The money just wasn't there. You can pull down Ryan Hare. I get it, but to land a Nick Bragin, that's a big deal.
Very true. Very
We're
true.
excited to have you, dude. Honestly, I mean, so one thing that I mean, honestly, you've been here in Evansville for how many years now since you've moved back?
It's almost 3.
It's in
3 years,
Newburgh,
okay.
Jake, not Evansville. Get it
Oh yeah,
right.
Newburgh, get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, if you guys are listening and you're not from where we're from, Newburgh is a
Better
little
than
side
Evansville.
town of Evansville, but it's where the rich people
Better.
go. So they are
It's where the
better a little
better
bit, I
people go.
think.
Yeah.
But I do
Yeah.
live in 47715, which is right next to you guys, and that's like I'd say that's kind of like
Still not
the
Newburgh.
ritzier part. We like where we are because we're in the city. Time out. You're in Bloomington, weren't you? That's where you are.
Yeah, for like 17 years.
Nick
That's
lived in
crazy.
Bloomington since he started going to IU.
Right.
Yeah,
And is that where you met your wife?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, she moved down to Bloomington to get a job at IU, and we met through some mutual friends.
Oh, sweet. So it wasn't like going to school. It was y'all just hung out and you ran across each other.
Her roommates were friends with my roommate's girlfriend at the time, who's now his wife. So just like through friends, we met at a party.
So now it's like you guys still keep in touch as like double date type situations where you meet up every once in a while, or
every now and then. It's tougher and tougher.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just being that far away. Are they still in Bloomington?
Yeah. He's gonna be a lifer for sure.
That's awesome. So you kind of stole the friend away, and now you have a zoo.
That's about right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. Because I don't think I've ever heard how you guys met. I mean, obviously I know your wife, but
Nick, I remember being at a party at your house whenever me and Drew were staying there, and I don't believe that your now wife liked me very much because I'm sure I was being a jerk.
So that was the first time we ever met, and like I vaguely remember that night. Yeah, and it was like 6 months later when we started hanging out at a different party and actually connected. So it was like, yeah, it just kind of.
So that was the night that you met your wife.
So I almost ruined it for him.
Yeah. So my roommate's girlfriend, it was her birthday, and it was her birthday's the day before Kevin's, and so as soon
I
as
just tried to steal the show.
Kevin was stealing the show, saying it's my birthday. It's not your birthday. It's my birthday. And so that's all they talked about.
What a recovery, Nick, because that was a red flag, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I
had Kevin digging me a deep hole when it started.
Did you have your eye? Did you have your eye on her that night? Like, were you trying to impress her, or was it just kind of like casual?
Was that the night we went to Guster, or were we just going out somewhere else?
I know there was one time when we stayed up there when we went to Guster, and Drew got kicked out of every bar. But there was also another time when me and Drew were up there for Little Five, and I think it was one of those two times, and it was at the same house.
Yeah, it was in the fall.
Then it was Guster.
We started hanging out in the spring. Yeah, so we were leaving the party to go to see Guster at a bar in Bloomington.
Nice. So she met all of us jerks then, because Logan was there too.
And for your listeners out there, if you guys don't know, so Bloomington, Indiana is where the University of Indiana is, or Indiana University,
there you
IU. I made sure to correct myself. So and it's a big obviously D1 college. Everybody's heard of IU, and big party school. So what they're talking about is Little Five, is where they have like it's a big bike race, and basically for that whole weekend, it's just
the whole week,
rager,
really, isn't it?
Yeah, the whole week, leading up to it, and then it's just one big rager. So if you've never been, I suggest that you go, and if you're a college kid, anyways, if you're our age, maybe.
Yeah, last time I was up there, Nick, last time I was up there, it was Little Five weekend, but we were like in our mid-20s, and we didn't go out. Like, it was like, this is not the same.
Yeah, you get old in Bloomington real quick.
I bet, yeah. But I mean, hell, like whenever we were, young and in college or in our young 20s, we would go, and we knew people that were still going to school there that, went to our high school. And I mean, it's a shit show. It's crazy. I mean, they have like big concerts there. I think one year we went to Richard and Kyle Simcoe's frat, and they had like Yellow Card, OAR. I think Snoop Dogg was there at one point.
Nick, we saw Fly the Conchords there one year. That was awesome.
That would be awesome.
So cool.
That was like still in the height of their popularity too. Like, that was pretty sweet.
Business socks and
no, that was great. I remember them gyrating like on some of the ladies in the front row, like just going at it.
Now they're Grammy award winners, aren't they?
What they win a Grammy for?
Didn't they?
I'm sure they have
produced all the songs for one of the Muppet movies. I think.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. I think they mentioned it in one of their
skits. My first impression on your wife reminds me of something I was just telling Jake about a little bit ago. On Friday, I was at the gym with another friend of ours. It was my old neighbor Joe, and some guy that we know that knows us there was there, and he was like, "Man, Joe, isn't Kevin just an inspiration?" Because I've been going to the gym a lot. I lost all this weight, and I'm whatever. And Joe just kind of looked at me like, "Oh my god, that's the end of this." So, he knows I'm just gonna.
And you knew he wasn't gonna let it down. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like Kevin, if I was by myself,
Bennett, here it comes.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'll tell you exactly what I sent to
he's better.
him. Yeah, I sent a text to him and Ryan and Logan today that says exactly this. Inspirational quote of the day from Kevin the Inspiration. Doing the best at this moment puts you in the best place for the next moment. I'm gonna start doing that every day, and they're gonna.
Yeah, where'd you look that up?
It's wild to me. I mean,
it's my own
crazy
quote.
Because
I bet
your wife is
nothing is impossible. The word itself says I'm possible.
That's just dumb enough to come from you. That might work.
Right. That is.
That was actually Logan. Logan said that one. But.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I was going to say was,
really you're really clever. I loved it. No.
your wife is a little more like reserved. She's like, more introverted like I am now. And it's crazy to think that like she is married to a man that has so many friends, and you can be this way as well. But Jess and
I are like that too, man. You know your sister. Yeah. She was very, very introverted before I started making her not be.
Such an extrovert, Kevin, who's just out there, throws it out there. All of our friends, we can just put it in your face, and so I'm sure we overwhelm her at some point. Sometimes,
I don't. It might be her influence. It might just be life, but I think I've mellowed a bit.
Honestly, that's what it's all about. I think that like we each, with your significant other, like you give a little bit of each other. So she calmed you down a little bit. You probably brought her out of her shell a little bit too,
Yeah, she's got an adventurous side, that's for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Does she like to adventurous, like outdoorsy, or just likes to go out and do things?
I mean, she can be social. She'll put herself out there too. Adventurous was maybe not the best word, but she's got she's definitely
pretty
got
broad.
Yeah,
that's good.
Did you just call her a pretty broad?
I said that's pretty.
broad. That's my wife.
That too.
The wife you're talking about. I mean, she was a pretty lady, but
it's funny. Like my wife, she was like, whenever I met her, she was 24 and I was 33. So there's a little bit of an age gap there. And I had done most of my partying. And so for like the first 3 years, I just had to fake like I was still able to hang. And I did. I don't know how I made it through those, going out on weekday nights and still making it to work, early in the morning. And then I just could not wait for her to get. I mean, I used to tell her all the time, I cannot wait for you to get older and want to settle down. And now we finally arrived. Now we have, we have our kid too, which dulls things down a lot more. So
now you're just not sleeping for a different reason.
Right. Actually, right now she's doing great. Now we're putting her down. We don't even have to rock her to sleep. We just put her in her crib. She goes right to bed. She's been
like that for like 3 weeks now, right? Since we watched.
Yeah. And she
stayed with us one night, and she started walking the next day, and she sleeps better.
Kevin taught her.
So
yeah. She really took off. Inspiration. Yeah. Kevin's an inspiration.
Hey, I'm an inspiration. What can I say, guys?
Hey, another thing
I'm the wrong person to say that to, though. Like, this guy doesn't know me that well.
You can't pay Kevin a compliment ever.
No, not like that. Not like, especially around other people.
Kevin, not humble Bennett, is what they call him. Kevin, inspiration / not humble Bennett. But another thing that I wanted to ask you about was because I know you've been kind of doing this for a little bit now. I've been seeing that you've been training. You're training? What are you training for, a 5K or are you training for a marathon?
It's a half marathon.
Marathon.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. But
this dude's getting after it though, too. Man. Like I'm proud of you for this, Nick. You can tell that you've already lost a lot of weight. Just, I mean, I don't see you as often. You
look really good.
A minute away. I don't see you all the time, but you can definitely tell that you've lost some weight by doing this. And I see
that last video that you posted. I could really tell. I was like, wow, he's looking really good. Now, kind of explain it to us if you don't mind, because I know it's something that has to do with like what the vocational, like with the diocese of
The
Evansville? Like
it's the dioceses.
Dioceses.
Yeah, so it's the Evansville Half Marathon. It's the normal race they do in the fall. But when we were up in Bloomington, we were part of the Archdiocese of Indy or Indianapolis, and they had this thing called Race for Vocations, and it was just like if you were Catholic or interested and you wanted to participate, it was a way to promote like praying for and supporting people that were discerning vocations in the Catholic Church. And so, yeah, my wife is a serious runner. She's done a full marathon. She's done a lot more races than I have. She's good at this and she likes it. I do it occasionally just for exercise and to try to get better. But this is my second half marathon I'll be doing. It was like 2013 was the last one. So this is not something that's in my comfort zone at all, but we thought that it was such a cool thing they were doing up in Indy, and they weren't doing anything like that down here in Evansville. So we just talked to Father Tyler, who's the priest who's the director of vocations, or I forget his exact title, but he's the one that is kind of running the show with vocational stuff here in Evansville. And then just talked to a few other priests and got some support and have been just blasting it out there. It's cool for me to kind of share my stuff because I'm not trying to like talk about myself, but we're trying to raise awareness to get more people to participate. Just because people are going to wear shirts, we'll have a tailgate afterwards and just make it kind of a fun thing, but to draw awareness. So.
Right.
Yeah,
it's to the faith.
It's inspirational is what it is.
Really, like,
yeah. I mean, you're putting it out there online and stuff. Like it's not about you. It's just you're an inspiration, and that's. Now
I noticed.
I sincerely do mean that, though. I am proud of you for doing it. Like I don't run.
Who likes running? I hate running.
I've always hated running, and I think the most that I've probably ever ran in just a time was 2 miles. We used to. Jake, you probably did it with us. Me and John and Chuck, and maybe you would run from our house on Weinbach over to Memorial. We'd run around the track for about a mile, and then we'd run back home. And that's the most I ever ran. And Logan would do it with us too. But I'll do like
3 to 3.5 on the treadmill and stuff. But that's still different. I've never done like even a 5K or anything. I've walked a 5K, but I've never done anything more than a 5K. And I've only, like I said, walked that. But yeah, I mean, running. I absolutely hate it. But I was going to ask you, I know a lot of the places, it seems like a lot of the places that you are choosing to run, you'll come across some type of like, like prayer area.
Yeah. Jake, he ran around at Notre Dame. Did you see that?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah. We were up in South Bend on vacation. We were taking our kids up to Lake Michigan and just seeing some stuff up there and kind of wandered around campus a couple times, but we were kind of basing ourselves out of South Bend and then just driving all around northern Indiana up in Michigan. And so I was doing some running around Notre Dame, and it's a beautiful campus. It's
so beautiful.
Love.
Had you ever been there before, Nick?
Yeah, I'd been there once before, but I didn't spend as much time there as I did this time. So I really got to kind of run around and see stuff, and it was really cool. Yeah. Like, I went and visited the cemetery where Brother Eugene is. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know he was there. I did not know that.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
The brothers.
Brother Eugene was a teacher at Memorial for anybody that wasn't aware of that.
For a long time. And, so
he was there when my dad was at Memorial.
Yeah.
So he's been there forever.
My dad graduated in 66. I think 66. So yeah, that's crazy.
And for all you listeners, if you've never been to Notre Dame's campus, we highly recommend it. It's a beautiful campus. Even when I lived in Ann Arbor, all the Michigan fans, as much as they hate Notre Dame, I'd get plenty of people that knew that I was a Notre Dame fan, and they're like they had been to their campus and just say like it was one of the most impressive, most beautiful like campuses they've ever seen. Now, did you make it to the grotto or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
You did.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's an inspiration.
Obviously, you follow him. Yeah, obviously you follow him on Facebook because you knew all about this. I mean,
I didn't see that. I've seen a lot of his other posts, but I must have missed that one.
He's too busy paying attention to the football game, Nick.
Oh, I will look. Nope, I don't know. It's commercial time, so I don't know what the score is. I got a bet on this games too, so I want to win some
throw
money.
it out there for everybody to know what your bet is.
Yeah, I will. I was just about to say that. It's a very conservative bet. Only win like $40, but I have Lamar Jackson hitting 175 passing yards. I have Patrick Mahomes 200 plus yards. I have Derrick Henry 40 plus rushing. I have Travis Kelce 40 plus passing yards, and then I have alternate spread. It's the Ravens plus 9.5, which, like I said, it's very conservative.
Yeah.
As long as I think the Ravens are going to win, but just in case, I put them plus 9.5 just to cover it. So I mean, it was like a $10 bet. I win 40, so payouts like 50. So I thought that was a pretty safe conservative bet, and not to mention the first I went through FanDuel. I don't know if we're allowed to promote that. I think so. FanDuel.
They'll become a sponsor. It's fine.
Yeah, I went through them, and your first bet of the season it's called a no sweat bet. So no matter what you bet, if you lose, you get that money back in bet money. So I thought that was a no brainer.
Jake, what you just said about FanDuel and sponsoring reminded me of something. I was watching something the other day. I think it's called Bob Does Sports. That's a podcast. Have you guys heard of him? Anyway, he pretty much, I think he primarily just does golf. Anyway, he's like worth a lot of money, and he started just doing a podcast, and he would get people to like sponsor him by saying that he sponsors like Windex or something like that. Sponsored by Windex, and he wasn't. But like, who's gonna say, "Oh no, I'm gonna take that off"? This guy's giving us free advertising and shit.
Right.
He gained other sponsors and shit by doing that.
Because of doing that,
has that big sponsorship money too.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Windex is the best.
Because are you Windex? Because I see myself in your pants.
I need to use some Windex on these glasses.
And while I'm thinking of it, I think Kevin, I think it's a good opportune time to not to cut you off, Nick, or take away from you, but I think there was a retraction that we needed to make.
So we were right.
I know we were right, but we're just
I'm not even going to say
it. Okay, well, I'll say it. So we're going to make a retraction because this is how absurd it is, Nick. You'll hear it in just a second. We need to redact a statement that we made as far as not being a contest winner for Matt Bivens' episode. We did receive an email from a anonymous person under the name of Matt Bivens that answered correctly to
it was to the next
question.
No, it was to the next week's. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
No, he answered his own question. He answered his own question. And it was named something that the driver requested, and he obviously knew what it was because it was coming from himself.
He answered with all of the correct answers.
Yes, he did.
But after further review, he was like, "Yeah, you guys were wrong. I did email." And after further review, he sent it to twobroswithbenefits@gmail.com. So
he forgot an I.
Sorry, he forgot an I. We didn't see it.
He forgot that I for your inspiration. And
that's what it was.
But I did want to say, Matt, he did send me some swag. This is a shirt from Chicago. My brother, he lives in Chicago.
Where's my swag, Matt?
Says the Chicago Handshake. If you don't know what that is, listeners, the Chicago Handshake is a staple in Chicago. It's an old style beer and a shot of Malort. If you don't know what Malort is, then you need to get yourself to Chicago and give it a try. It's really good. It's really, 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 really good.
Delicious.
Tastes wonderful.
Hey, call me crazy, but I like it.
It grows on you, man. So it grows on you.
My brother every time he comes in, he brings me a fifth, and that thing's gone in a couple weeks. I sip on it like it's nothing because it has grown on me, and I just
Nick,
like
the first time you drank it, you did not like it, right?
Oh, of course not. No.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that liked it the first time they've had it.
So yeah, if you haven't tried Malort's, it's a good prank gag. It's a Swedish liquor, and it tastes like what I would like to describe as cigarette butts and permanent marker. Probably thrown into a porta potty is a good description of it. But
aged in dirty underwear.
Yeah, aged in dirty under. It's pretty terrible.
Nick, we got one night, me and Corey and John were over at Jake's house. This was probably a couple years ago. And actually, Nick, it was after one of the St. Ben's nights that we all went to. You remember when Corey and Schuster's and you guys came? It was after that. We went back to Jake's house, and
I think we watched the Memorial game that night.
Maybe, but remember. We got we were like, he was like, hey, let's take shots, and he got Corey and John and him were taking shots, and Corey Jake and John like held it up, and then Corey took it. He goes, "You motherfuckers!" He knew it. Yeah. He knew that we had got him. Like,
it stuck with him to this day because he brings it up every once in a while. He's like, "That Malort is absolutely horrible."
Nick, I mean, the only other thing we kind of wanted to just chat about briefly with you is, dude, you're a freaking father to 4 boys. What's that like? 4 young boys, we might add.
Yeah, our oldest is 7 and our youngest isn't even 1 yet. So it's a lot. You become a handyman. You become a handyman growing up anyways, but then when you have 4 boys, you learn some other stuff real quick. I was working on our bathtub in the boys' bathroom just before this. The faucet's leaking, and I'm sure it's because they like hang on the handle or do something dumb in there when we're not looking. So it's dripping. There's always something to hold a patch or something to fix up. But they're awesome.
So funny.
It's really cool watching them grow up and just starting to get into sports and outside of that, just figuring out other things they like and seeing them kind of develop that and start to grow and really see who they're becoming.
And they'll always have each other's backs and stuff. That's so cool.
And they always, you have a built-in friend right there, I mean, you were born with a brother that, you guys were pretty much friends. You guys would do everything together all the way through high school. And, they've got that too. I kind of do feel for, my son, he's got a sister, but she's about 4 years younger than him. He doesn't have a built-in friend like that. That's only a couple years, different. Now they'll definitely go through stages when they get older where they won't want to be around each other at all, but it's still nice to have that for sure.
Yeah. I'm sure they do fight. Well, I will say, I have a daughter and she's pretty, she's great. She's pretty tame. And, actually for a girl, she's, I feel like she's going to be quite a bit of a tomboy, not to get canceled or anything. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that anymore, but,
yeah, you're getting canceled.
We babysit, our buddy Steven and Amanda's kid. His name's Carter, and he's an awesome kid. We love taking him out to Chuck E. Cheese, take him to Inflatable Fun Factory. But I will say the last time we babysat him, he's just a tornado of fun is what I'll say. And I was like, after he left, I was like, wow, babe, I don't know if I have a boy in me as much as I want a boy too, as the next kid, maybe. I was just like, I could only imagine having a boy. Now I could only imagine having 4 boys. That's got to be.
And they wake up and they're insane. They're running from the moment.
Yeah.
They don't ease into it. It's just the eyes open and they're going, and they do all the way till bedtime. Their eyes finally close and then they're out. But that time in between, it's just constant. It's either running, being crazy, doing something funny or dumb, or demanding more snacks and food. So it's
getting hurt or picking on each other. Yeah, always. Like you said, from the moment they wake up, their feet are already running like Flintstones. They're just taking off.
All the way upstairs is like a bowling alley. It's super long. You can just hear them running back and forth all the
time. 4 boys, that is insane. Now, does your wife? Does she want to keep trying for a girl, or you think she's hung it up?
I don't know, man.
Never say never. Never to say never.
I'm not calling her old, but I'm getting old. I don't know how much more I have in me in terms of just the energy to deal with young kids. They're great, but man, it's nonstop. It's all the time, and it's a lot of fun, but it's exhausting.
I get you on that. Just having one is exhausting. I come home from work and I barely have the energy to keep up with a little, 1-year-old. So I can only imagine if you have 4 of them, all the way through 7 years old. But
no, your wife's pretty impressive too, though, man. There was one day, Jake, where Jess it was in the summer. Jess was outside doing something, and she just saw Anna walking by, four boys all by herself, just walking down the street. And then she does that often because I've seen her out quite a few times. And it's impressive, man. Like that takes a lot. I wouldn't be that very comfortable doing that.
She's good at this. She's known what she's doing from the get-go. I've had to learn everything. I mean, I had a twin brother and we were the youngest cousins, except for one that was adopted when we were much older, like teenagers or whatever. But I wasn't exposed to little kids or babies or anything growing up. So it was all, massive learning curve, brand new for me.
Yeah. I concur with you. And I mean, I grew up around a daycare my whole life. My grandma, my mom, and now my sister, they run a daycare, and I still had no clue what the hell was going on. And my wife, she had been ready to be a mom for a long time. So she knew it. She just had it all up in her head. And so I'm just kind of, like you said, a learning curve. I'm learning off of her, and, just whatever she tells me, I'm there for. But I'm sure your wife, she's the same way. And I bet she's real patient with those boys and good at wrangling them in a little bit, probably better than
she's
what
amazing.
We would be.
I mean, I go off to work for 8+ hours a day and come home, and I love them. But by bedtime, I'm already at the end of my patience.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah.
She's a saint with that stuff. It's pretty awesome to see.
That's funny. It's funny because I'm the same way. I get home and I only have like 2.5 hours with my daughter, because then it's bedtime because she's so young. And by the end of it, I'm like, all right, let's get her to bed because she's starting to get cranky. But then as soon as she goes to bed, I'm like, I miss her. It's like I'm ready to hang out with her again. But having children is just, it's crazy. I feel like at least me, I never thought that I would be there. Like I would be old enough to like, all right, I'm at the age where I could have kids. But we're approaching 40.
Yeah, man.
And it's crazy. We are at that age. We're kind of older for being parents. I'm older for having my first kid at 38 years old.
You got a birthday coming up, big boy.
I do. And I don't care about my birthdays anymore. For me, like, my wife, she's still at that age where she's just like, it's my birthday month, my birthday week, my birthday weekend.
Like
and I'm like, I don't care. And as soon, whenever they're like, what do you want to do on your birthday? I'm like, for my birthday, I want to do absolutely nothing and sit on the couch and do nothing. Like, that's my birthday wish, So that's usually like my one day where I get to like not have to do anything if I don't want to, which I love.
Heck yeah.
Anyways, cut that.
I love that. You should not cut that.
Cut that. We won't cut that.
You should make one of those, like, when you don't want to do a week, and it goes like clip shows, and they put all like the super cuts together to make one.
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes. Like, cut that.
At the end, it's just me going, cut that. Please.
Have you seen? Somebody's made a clip. It's like 60 minutes of Jason Derulo singing his name and the intros of his song.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Awesome. I don't know why that drives me wild, but that has got to be funny. I have to look at that.
Yeah,
Jason Derulo. Every time he has a song, it's in there somewhere. You just wait for it. It's at the very beginning. You wait for it.
Like, I mean, I say newer. It's probably like 5 or 10 years ago now at this point, but he whispers it. He goes, that one, I lost it.
Inspiration.
I should start doing that. I'm gonna say inspiration.
That's perfect.
Inspiration. Oh, it's all over me now.
Hey man, there's your question for next week. What made Jake spit out his beer?
Yeah, that is.
That is a good one.
Derulo.
I
don't know if I've ever heard that one. That's funny. Go ahead.
I think we could take a quick break here, though. Yeah. We'll come back with some hot topics and some spitfire questions for our boy Nick here. Going to put him in the hot seat.
We got a lot of pointless content, so yeah, we'll be with.
We'll probably have to cut that on all of it.
Cut that out.
All right. So yeah, we'll be back in a little bit, guys.
All right, everybody say bye. Bye. We'll be back.
All right, guys, we're back here with Two Bros with Benefits podcast. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Jake.
And this is our special guest, Nick Bragin.
Yeah.
Captain Hook.
Put the whole name in there. Got to put the whole name in there. Put the whole name. We'll cut that. Nick Bragin. Nick Bragin, our special guest.
Two bros.
I think, we'll try to get into our second segment of this podcast. And with that, we will get into one of our most popular features. It's the number one popular feature. It is our Hot Topics and Hot Takes. And we'll cue it up.
First of all, is that really our most popular feature? Have we actually?
I don't know. We say that all the time.
Nobody's actually said, "Oh yeah, we love that." That's what you got.
I know.
That's not our number one.
I think we just say it. We just said that from the beginning. I just said it from the beginning to make it sound like we've already had followers, even though we didn't have followers. But anyways, we're gonna get into our next segment. Cut that.
All right.
Hey guys, what's up? With that, we're gonna get into our next segment. Now that we have our special guest Nick Bragin back with us, and with that, cue it up, Kevin. Let's go.
Hey man, I've been thinking a lot lately.
What you thinking about?
Hey! And you know what time that is.
Do they know what time that is?
I think people, if you've been listening, if you're a new listener, you don't know what time it is. But if you are a listener, you do know what time it is. Nick's been listening, so he knows what time it is. It's time
he's seen them all. He's not going to tell us that, but he has.
That means it's time for Hot Topics and Hot Takes. This is where we ask our special guest. We give him a couple titles, and today we actually only have two because we got some nice Spitfire questions. So we're gonna give him two topics, and we'll disguise them in the form of puns or just funny topics. I think these are just funny topics this time, and then we will say both of the topics, and we'll give him a chance to decide which one he wants to talk about first, and then we'll go into it. So with that, are you ready, Nick?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So I will give you the titles of these hot topics. The first one is, we got some soda, OJ, purple stuff, and human delight. And the second one is, Dayman, fighter of the night, man. Ooh.
Let's go with Dayman.
Dayman, fighter of the night, man. All right. With this one, we do have a video, and we will show that video first, and then I will kind of explain some things, and then we'll get into our question.
Are you amazed by the idea of sunlight after dark? Reflect Orbital is turning sci-fi into reality. Reflect Orbital, a revolutionary California startup, is on a mission to provide sunlight after dark. Imagine satellites with huge mirrors reflecting sunlight back to Earth, even when the sun's gone down. Led by the visionary CEO Ben Nowak, this company plans to light up your world on demand like ordering takeout. Not only can you brighten up your backyard, but this tech could supercharge solar power plants, extending their hours and boosting energy production. Using Mylar mirrors, similar to those in space blankets, this breakthrough could help meet peak energy demands and make clean energy more reliable. It's like the Xenamia 2 mission from 1992, but supercharged with today's technology and lower launch costs. Thousands are already excited about grabbing their own spot of light. So, are you ready to light up the night with Reflect Orbital?
So if you look at the very end of there, it showed a guy, he was on an app. And so there was another cool video, but I just couldn't find it. It showed, well, I found the video where they explained the app. But there was something else in the video too. So in this app, he was able to get on his app, and they were playing basketball at night, and he was able to hack in or get into this app, put in his coordinates, and these satellites that have mirrors on them reflected off the sun, and they shone light right onto their property, and so they were able to play basketball during the day. And then also in this clip, they discuss companies using it for advertisement in orbital sense. So imagine like a neon light advertisements that were just up in the sky, orbiting the Earth, wherever you would want them to be as far as for marketing. So this company is called Reflect Orbital, and it's a startup company out of California. And who knows if it's going to get off the ground, but they have plans to put thousands of satellites with mirrors, special mirrors connected to them to create daytime anywhere in the world at any point. Its main priority is to charge solar farms 24/7, for sustainable energy to, my daughter's crying, to help keep these, to help keep whatever they need, as far as farming, as far as producing energy for, cities. However, consumers will be able to download an app and bring daylight to their coordinates. Also, the companies can purchase orbital advertisements that span the globe. And like I said, imagine having a big neon sign up in the sky that's just blasting huge across the globe wherever you want it to. So with that, we'll kind of get into our questions. I mean, what do you guys think about this? Do you guys like this idea? Do you think it will get off the ground? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of governmental stuff that they'll have to get through. I mean, I say that, but then again, SpaceX, other startup companies have been able to get satellites out there. I don't know what they have to go through as far as if they have to go through the government to get these satellites up, but do you think that you could see something like this, like, popping off?
Oh,
I don't love it.
I mean, I'm not a big fan either.
I think
my wife didn't like it.
From the energy production side of things, there's possibly something there. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't like to mess with nature and natural design any more than needs to be done. And
right.
Quite frankly, it sounds to me like if you wrote a really crappy like super villain and like what they were going to do to the world, like I'm going to manipulate sunlight, and it just seems like a really strange, weird thing.
You're right, because they could use it for I'm assuming eventually it could be used for defense too. Because imagine taking the sun's reflective light off of a mirror, it could turn into lasers, which supposedly there's already out there. Yeah, we can burn some ants, laser sharks with lasers on them. And Kevin, what were you going to say?
It's just, I mean, I feel like it's just would screw up, the entire ecosystem. It's just going to screw everything. I can't imagine that it would be a good thing for our environment, for our for the Earth in general.
Well, not to mention that,
like, doesn't seem natural at all, and it seems like it would just screw a lot of shit up.
People would probably, I'm assuming, because I was thinking about people trolling people. Imagine people sleeping, and I just put in like your coordinates while you're sleeping, and it just sunlight just beamed through.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure there would be some type of like protocol behind it where
it'll get hacked.
But it could get hacked, and they could use that against people. But I mean, just could you imagine though, like as far as security, you could light up your freaking house. You light up. There's somebody breaking into somewhere. Boom, light that bad boy up. What about war? You know what I mean? Like, would there ever be nighttime war anymore? It would just be like, we're going into battle. It's a nighttime battle. Screw it. We want to see everybody.
The nighttime.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine the U.S. We're about to ambush somebody, and right before we ambush, we just light them up with light so we can see all of them.
Yeah, like
it would
our infantry rides in on horses, and we bows and arrows and
Paul Revere and it would, or it could change things for sports too. I mean, you never have to worry about.
They could take down the lights at Wrigley Field, that's for sure.
Yeah, take down the lights at Wrigley Field.
But it's not a problem.
That might be blocking people.
You know what I mean? It's not causing any issues. There's not really very many times when you're like, oh, it'd be nice if we had more daylight hours. That'd be great. You don't. It's not bothering you in any way. Why change it?
Yeah. The only problem at Wrigley Field is the
Cubs,
the beams,
when the beams.
Yeah. Because they lose. Because the Cubs lose, but the beams that are just sitting in the middle of everyone's eye view, if you get
obstructed view,
you get obstructed view. But and then what was another question that I had? But like think about certain areas of the country, like in Alaska, and I know there's places in like Newfoundland and stuff where they go like total dark for long extended periods of time during the year because just where they are. During the winter, they don't see light for like 2 to 3 months. I know in certain places over in like the Scandinavia, that I know they do already have mirrors on top of mountains to help bring in sunlight and stuff. But that might be beneficial to them.
It might be, but again, they've lived with it for this long, and they probably don't really have any major issues with it or concerns for it.
They do have major issues because a lot of them deal with depression because they need the UV light to.
Well, there's medicine for
give
that.
them the vitamin C and stuff. I mean, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they figured all that out. But
I think
they used to wear like helmets and stuff.
That on-demand kind of manipulation of it, that's a little bit more of what frightens me, or frightens not the right word, but where I'd be concerned about it.
Yeah, it would have to be like very regulated.
At the end of it all, I mean, we're not going to have any control over it anyway. If it happens, like, we have no say in it. It's just going to happen.
Exactly.
And it's going to be out there just like everything else in the world,
Another thing I think about is like when they send all these satellites up there and stuff, like we were talking about this. I was talking about this with Beth and an associate from Biaggi's where we used to work, and we were talking about all the debris, all the space trash that's up in the air. I mean, they would have to put that in like an area where none of that is floating around. I mean, have you ever looked into how much space trash is out in the freaking out up there in orbit? It's unreal. They just dump stuff. And here, I'm gonna look it up. How much space trash is there? More than 25,000 objects larger than 10 centimeters are known to exist. And what's crazy is they say that, like, this is kind of going off on a tangent, but they say like a debris the size of a grain of sand that like hits a astronaut suit could go right through it. Cause I mean, it's going at like, thousands and thousands of miles per hour. And then you have to think about like, if we really are up there and stuff, which I believe that, which we could also go in. That kind of was another topic that we could have gone into, is the people that are stuck up in the Boeing.
That's some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's insane. Yeah, absolutely.
I know we're going off on a tangent, but I think maybe we could transfer over to that. That was going to be possibly one of my topics. I mean, what do you think about that? Like, man, how do they have enough oxygen for them to go the 8 months? I mean, Elon Musk they're depending on Elon Musk to go up there and save them.
Yeah, crazy? I don't know a ton about it, but the little bit I've read, number one, Boeing's had a really great year, haven't they? Like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, that was my first thing is, when you depend on Boeing, great advertisement for them.
Yeah, that's wild. And I was hearing something the other day about, like, apparently there was some sort of radio transmission and somebody heard like a unidentified
knocking and stuff. Yeah, tapping.
I don't know what the heck's going on up there, but
I think that was right before everything happened.
Just to know,
I listened to the audio.
You're stranded up there for 8 months. I mean,
yeah,
that's wild. That's absolutely.
And then did you see the video of the two astronauts that are up there? It was funny. They showed a video of them, and like, you've seen a bunch of those videos where like you've seen them, like you see the wires, that they're probably using. So if you watch this video, it looks like they didn't want to use the wires, but it looks like they're just hanging upside down, and that's how they got of it. It really does look like they're hanging upside down, because like gravity wouldn't like make your face like like pull downward like whenever you are hanging upside down. I mean, you've seen the videos where like they accidentally drop something and it does drop. If they were really up there, it wouldn't be dropping, or like you see the cables. But I thought that was crazy. And then another question, if we're talking about this.
Oh, we're talking about it.
My question is, I guess they probably or maybe planned in case something like this went, and so they had enough oxygen for them. I mean, they're not going to run out of oxygen. And if they were, do they have, like on the space station and this station, do they have a machine, do you think, that creates oxygen? Because how do they create oxygen from pulling air outside? Because that's the vacuum of space. There's no air out there. How are they creating oxygen for these astronauts?
That's way beyond me. I have no idea.
Yeah, way over our heads.
They've got to have something that generates it, though, because there's no way they're flying up tanks of oxygen. However,
right on the space station every so often
that produces.
We would know about it if they were flying up tank
or converts it. Convert something into oxygen.
They got to have something that converts it, but like, how are they converting it?
I know nothing about that. Science is not my background.
Can you recycle the carbon dioxide that you breathe out
He
back
just
into
said he
the
doesn't know.
air. Yeah, well, you should know.
Do I look like an astronaut, Jake?
I mean, do you remember at the intro whenever I said you're one of the smartest people that I know? You're highly intelligent. Well,
Not really showing that, are you?
I redact that statement.
I wasn't listening.
Cut that, guys. We're gonna have to make another redaction. At the intro, I spoke highly of this special guest, saying he's one of the most intelligent human beings that I know, and I will have to redact
I'm
that.
one of the human beings you know.
Yeah, one of the
we'll just cut that.
One of the three.
We'll just cut out intelligent, and we'll put inspirational in there instead.
Cut that.
I've been called an inspiration once or twice.
Yeah.
That is crazy though, that they have to stay there, and then Elon Musk is going to go save them. I mean, that's kind of awesome. I think that Elon is going to be the one to like send them up there. I mean, hopefully it goes good. And has Elon already sent people up and brought them back on their returnable rockets? Is that what it's going to be, or is it going to be like a pod? Do you know?
I don't know.
I've already established I know nothing about this.
Yeah, so you know nothing more. Well, that was a new
keep
topic.
Asking them questions.
Oh, okay.
Keep asking them questions. That'd be smart.
I mean,
new topic, and
I think
you
if we're
didn't know
going to
about
see
that.
a billionaire turned real life Batman, I think Elon Musk is the one to do it. So
Yeah,
if somebody's going to figure it out,
true.
it's going to be him.
I think I've left a lot of unanswered questions since our special guest can't answer these. And with that,
if you guys know any of these answers and you're smarter than Nick, just send it to us in comments and email us.
If you're an aerospace engineer and you know answers to these, please comment in our video section if you're watching this, or email us at twobroswithbenefits@gmail.com and make Nick look like a fool, and we'll make sure to let him know in our next podcast that we did receive some answers and that he is actually not very intelligent. And with that,
I won't be listening.
Yeah, he won't. Yeah, he will. He's definitely he's gonna be sitting in anticipation to see if somebody makes him look stupid. Oh, there he goes. And with that, I guess we could probably get into the next question. Get into our next one. Yeah. So the next question would be: we got some soda, OJ, purple stuff, and Human Delight. Do you guys remember what that's from, right?
Sunny D.
Oh yeah, it's from
Sunny D.
Yeah.
For all you young,
I want that purple stuff from the Chappelle show. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right. For all you young people out there, it's an old Sunny Delight commercial, and I just replaced Human Delight with Sunny Delight.
I'm nervous.
So clever what you did there. So clever.
So with that, I'll kind of get into it. So this topic is about Aquamation. Do you guys know what Aquamation is?
I do today now.
Yeah.
Big silence. You do know?
Cut that.
You told me earlier, Jake.
Cut that. Nick, do you know what Aquamation is?
No, man.
Okay, so Aquamation is the process of. So this is another. It's a newer, sophisticated process of breaking down a human. So Aquamation is the process that breaks down a body in water, alkaline chemicals solution using heat, pressure, and agitation. So basically, they put them in this. I did have a video, but it wasn't any. It didn't give us any information more than what I could just read, but it did show the actual contraption that they put you in. So rather than getting cremated or buried, they put you in this machine, and they use water, alkaline chemicals, heat, and agitation. And this process leaves behind a liquid organic sludge as well as the bone fragments. So basically all your body kind of like melts away, and that leaves behind the bones. And then they're able to...
And then they turn you into a slushy.
Right. So then they can use the bones. They can pulverize the bones into an ash and give the bones to your family. And they can use that as ash and do with what they will. So the reason why they do this is, it's way more eco-friendly. It only uses 1/10 of the energy that cremation does. It also has 0 emissions that cremation does, and cremation emits emissions that cause disease and cancer, and then it reduces the carbon footprint, obviously. Now, the reason why I brought this topic up was because there is a catch. So remember what I told you about that organic liquid sludge? So for a high majority of the part, that liquid sludge, organic sludge, which is comprised of your tissues, your organs, your tendons, your eyeballs, everything, every part of you, your hair, that is put back into our waste treatment centers, and it is deemed sanitationable and put back into our water system. So in a sense, when you turn on that water and you drink from that water, you're drinking, you're cooking, you're showering, and everything like that in dead people's bodies. So my first question would be, what do you think about that? Seems great, right?
Yeah. I thought you were going to tell me it was Michael's secret stuff from Space Jam.
Where are they doing this, or are they doing
so
this?
They're doing it. They've been doing it in big cities, and I mean, it's all over. So like, yeah, I mean, like, this doesn't just go to humans. I know that they're doing it for pets too. We have some relatives that had a pet pass away and that's one thing that they did. They did Aquamation. Now, I don't know if they're putting the pet organic liquid sludge back into our water system, which I don't see why they wouldn't. If they're calling it sterile. They're saying it's all sterile, and they do test it, and they say it's they say it's sanitary ready. There's a word in here. I have to pull it back up, but I mean, what do you think about that?
Is this happening more than we even realize? So like,
oh, way more. I mean,
when
it's
you
happening a lot.
When you cremate, your animal or your family member, you're still getting something back, right? So do they just throw that sludge without us even really knowing?
So that was the thing that I said is so the sludge, the organic material falls away and it leaves the bones, and then they take the bones.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Right. But
in
when
cremation,
you say you're getting,
in cremation, they burn it all, and it just gets burnt up into the atmosphere, which is like part of the bad emissions.
So
that's what I'm saying.
I guess my point is, like, they can still say that they're cremating them in a sense because they're still burning up.
It's a type of cremation. It's just, but it's called aquamation. You know what I mean? It's just a more eco-friendly way of doing it, and they can still deliver you the ashes without emitting all those carcinogenic emissions. And so they're doing it eco-friendly, and also they brought up, whenever I was looking into this, they brought up how much land has been deforested for actual burial plots and cemeteries. And so part of it is we're trying to keep our carbon footprint down as far as tearing down forests, using land that doesn't necessarily need to be used to bury bodies. And I mean,
what do you think, Nick?
I'm at a loss, man.
Does it creep you out now?
Think of that. Yeah, just the organic material is getting put back into our water systems, and we're being told. I mean, I don't know how widespread and how popular this is, and but to think that that's deemed sanitary by who? I mean, not to get like deep into it, like.
No, and you can do that because
the lobby, the FDA, and government officials, and who knows who's deeming what safe and sanitary.
Right. Well, it's like, okay, so here's a perfect example. Like Cadbury, like they fund the Diabetes Association, and those are the ones that
they're pumping out those eggs.
Yeah, those are the ones that deem like what the statistics are for being diabetic. So like, who knows that there's somebody else funding this system, saying like, all right, yeah, we're paying you to say that it is sanitary when it probably isn't. They're saying it's sterile.
It's big
and listeners, I'm doing quotes. They're saying it's sterile.
Cut that.
Yeah, cut that. But at the same time, you do know that you are washing your body, cooking, and drinking. If you're drinking from tap water, you are drinking bodies that have been placed back into our waste system.
Taking a shower. Oh, that felt like grandma.
I feel like we through. Yeah, I feel like we just ruined tap water for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people are going to be switching over to bottles after this, or spring water or filtered water.
There's all kinds of stuff.
This is going to be the talk of the town tomorrow. Everybody's going to be talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, well, and you know, they put so much fluoride in, you know, they just up the fluoride. I mean, I was reading research, you know, now you look at kids our age. Well, we're not kids anymore. You know, a lot of people our age, they have the white spots on their teeth and stuff. And that's because the government, they up the fluoride intake into their water system, and all that fluoride is bad. And I mean, you can go into, conspiracy theories about how they're using the fluoride to get into our brains and all that jazz. But I mean,
definitely,
this is something totally different. It's just a matter of, do you think it's like morally acceptable to know that you're drinking?
It doesn't sound like we have a choice. I mean, it
I know we
like
don't.
It's going to happen. So
we don't. It is going to
really
happen.
No say.
And for the listeners out there, I mean, yeah, they're going to have to. If you don't like it, all you're going to have to do is
stop drinking water.
Stop or switch over to, like, you know, filtered water or spring water. Who knows? I mean, people die in springs all the time too. So who knows that, you know, you can't say that you're not dying.
Or I guess it makes their job easier if they die in the spring, right?
One every 10 seconds.
Yeah. 1 every 10 seconds. Is that an actual fact?
But yeah. I guess my question would be, like, you agree with it? Do you think the system's okay, or do you don't like it?
I'm not on board.
Mean, yeah, it doesn't matter, but it sounds like we don't really have a choice.
Yeah, we don't have a choice.
They're just doing it, so
right. But that's not the question, Kevin. So the question,
that's my answer.
It wasn't really an answer.
I gave you an answer. I said I don't like it, but it doesn't sound like I have a choice.
It's not an inspirational story.
Somebody that's very inspirational. It wasn't a very inspirational answer. I think you should hype us up.
I have to turn it off at some point, guys. I can't always be inspirational.
Yeah, whenever I discussed you. But I thought that was a really good topic, because I think that's going to open a lot of people's eyes up to, like, what they are consuming whenever they turn on their tap water and fill up their glass with a little bit of tap water. Did I change?
I was.
Did I?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I was. Did I change your eyes a little bit?
Yeah, I was.
Nick, are you gonna start drinking from the tap? I drink from the tap every day. I drink from the hose still.
Oh, if they're doing that stuff, I'm done.
Yeah, they are doing that stuff. Big
that what
cities.
Alkaline water is?
No, I mean, I think they add potassium.
Alkaline?
What's in bananas is potassium. I think they add potassium too. I saw a couple different posts, and not the chemicals, but what they add to it whenever they're actually agitating the body. It differed a little bit. I don't think it was just pure water.
Is there a reason why your voice got a little lower and sultry when you said agitating the body?
Agitating. No, my voice gets really raspy whenever I get on this podcast. I don't know why. There was a shift
there when you said that phrase, so I didn't. Yeah.
Agitating. I'm very agitated.
Agitating.
But hey, I think that was a good thing. I think people are going to be very interested in that. I think we're going to deter a lot of people from drinking tap water.
We shall see. Let us know if you're going to drink tap water any longer.
Yeah,
or if you're going to.
Yeah, and just give us your thoughts.
If you drink tap water, I don't drink tap water often. That's not filtered somehow.
I know, I do. Unfortunately, I drink right from the sink and stuff. I shouldn't. I know. I will tell you, like, Kern and my wife and my sister-in-law, they call themselves, like, water snobs. They drink really good filtered water, and I will tell you, when I
Voss water. I
mean, they get, like, water, like, brought to them. Like, they have, like, the big, you know, like in the office, the 5-gallon drum, you know, they put in. And then my wife it filters the crap out of her water. And so I will tell you, whenever I've tried their water, I can definitely taste the difference. But
you're not tasting Meemaw.
Yeah, I don't taste Meemaw. There's no Meemaw in this water. This water's missing something. It's missing something. I think it's missing Meemaw.
Yeah.
It's missing Mammy's.
We should brand a water that's just called Meemaw's water and just get it from
Meemaw's water. Meemaw is water. There's no humans in this water. That's what it's. That's our slogan. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty disgusting, honestly. I don't like it, but is it going to deter me from keep drinking it? Probably not. I'm going to keep drinking it. I know there's a lot of people that it will deter, but I'm a disgusting individual.
Jake's a badass, so what can we say?
No, not a badass. I'm just gross, and I'll just keep drinking my tap water. Yeah, with that, I think we'll get into our next segment. It's our second segment. I won't say it's our second
featured segment.
Featured. I won't say it's our second favorite because we only have two segments. And this one, cue it up. Let's go.
Let's get weird. Let's get weird.
Hey, pass me them bath salts, dog. I'm trying to get real weird.
A cameo from our last guest, Josh Kern, with that beautiful ending.
We'll have to put a cameo of Nick on here at some point.
That's right. Hey, so we're into our next feature segment. This is Spitfire Questions. This is where we ask our special guest a bunch of random Spitfire questions, and we see what he has to say about these. So we will get into these. We have, I think, 3 or more. Okay.
My microphone.
Right. Are you ready for this first question, Nick?
Nope.
Never ready, but it's coming anyways. First question. Would you rather watch your parents' sex tape or have your parents watch your sex tape?
Oh, good Lord. Cut that.
Cut that.
Good.
Can't answer it, huh?
What's that?
So you can't answer it, huh?
How do you answer that?
This is tough. My wife answered opposite of what I said.
think I know how.
You know my family.
Yeah.
My family's outrageous anyways, and they're open. So I know what I would say, but she said the opposite of what I said.
I would not want. Yeah, that's hard for me to say.
Well, let's listen to Nick first.
There's no good answer.
There's no win. There's no win at all. I mean,
so for all you listeners out there, the question was: would you rather watch your parents having sex on video, or would you rather have your parents watching you have sex on video? I was gonna say just. Would you rather have your parents watch you have sex, would you rather watch your parents have sex? No. But I feel like that was just way too out of the. Because
why would you stay?
I've got nothing.
You can leave.
Yeah, no, just
yeah. If you were duct taped to the chair,
yeah.
If either of those options are real life, just throw me in the alcohol.
And you had like the
get it over with.
And you had like
the water.
The toothpicks in your eyelids to keep your eyes open.
No, I mean, I guess I don't know. Good Lord, leave it to Jake for this question. Come on. I mean, if you don't watch it, then you don't know. But nothing. I got nothing.
Do you want him to see you? Do you want him to see you and be like, that's my boy, or critique you like, man, he effed up there, or do you want to be scarred for life and see that?
I have 4 kids. They know.
Old balls.
No, yeah, they know.
No.
Oh, they know that you did one thing right. They knew that you planted the seed. I'll keep it PG.
Jake? What's your answer?
Jake's answer is going to be different. Yeah.
So my wife was, I'd rather have my parent, or I'd rather watch my parents. And I said I'd rather have my parents watch me because I don't give a shite. Like, I know what I'm doing. My parents be like, hell yeah, Jake, get that. My dad would be like that for sure. My mom would probably be a little mortified, but
yeah.
I don't think I would want to see my parents doing that. Like that kind of whenever I was talking to my wife about it, it like put saliva in my mouth like I was about to puke. But my but Beth said she would rather watch because she wouldn't want them to see her. And I don't know. But that's very scarring.
I don't know how to answer it either.
That's so scarring. Would you really want to watch your parents do something like that? I mean,
no. None of the above.
Yeah. Well, you got
to you're the body agitator with the alkaline water because it's not an option.
You got to throw one out there. We haven't had one person. We stayed. If you watched the last episode, we stayed 45 minutes just to get one answer. Yeah. No, that was the UFC.
Yeah.
He wouldn't answer UFC.
Basically, Nick, to sum it all up for you, Josh Kern would have sex with just about every UFC fighter out there.
And all you listeners know that. For you new listeners,
was that the answer to the trivia question?
No, it was not. But
no, I mean, I wouldn't do that to my wife.
Yeah, think about your wife.
But then I wouldn't want to see my parents either. So that's the impossible question. Throw me in the body agitator and
there you go. And liquefy your body. Yeah, but your wife does
put my sludge in the Ohio River.
We never said your wife. Yeah, it's basically unsanitary. Anyway,
we did say your wife doesn't. We never said that she has to be a part of it.
Yeah. So you're watching your parents. You're watching your parents.
I will not answer that question. I can't do it.
Oh my gosh.
It's all right, Jake. We'll just use AI to make him say what we want to say.
Yeah. I would love to watch my parents. My name is Nick Bragin, and I would love to watch my parents. I can't wait to watch my parents do that. There we go. We got you. We got you.
It. That's all we needed from Nick.
Just like it.
Oh, please don't stop, Mom and Dad. I want more. There you go. One more round, please. One more round. More positions. Okay.
That's the cool thing about AI. We can make you say whatever we want you to say.
Yeah, we can make you say whatever you want. Anyways, okay. I guess you did answer that.
You're capturing my voice earlier in this, so then you could create me. Yeah.
That's exactly right. So we got you there. So we found out you want to watch your parents. Anyways.
Next question.
So the next question. So I don't know how well this is going to work because you wouldn't even answer that one. So this is
that a rapid fire. Are you kidding me?
That was no. This one's not so bad, but this is a rapid fire. So whenever as soon as I give these to you, because I'm gonna give you multiple ones, I need you to answer which one you would rather do. Okay. So just off the top of your head, tell me when you're ready.
Yeah.
This is themed after you and Kevin. And if you don't know what that means it's time for dick tit questions. So, answer rapidly, Nick. Tits or go vegan for the rest of your life?
Vegan.
Dick tits or ball sack chin?
What? I mean, I've got a little bit of butt there. It already kind of looks like there's two. Ball sack chin.
We're going to go for a ball sack chin, but people
dick
can see
tits,
over your dick tits
that
no one can see.
Dick tits or dick fingers?
What? Can I wear gloves?
Well, you can wear whatever you want. But
Michael Jackson didn't just wear gloves all the time, I guess.
Okay, so you're on dick fingers. Dick tits or dick clits? Remember, you got a wife.
How do you even say
you got a wife? I know. If you say it, I tongue twisted myself so many times. Dick tits or dick clits?
I'm out of control. Dick tits.
Dick tits, yeah. You don't want your wife to have that. All right, and the last
dick tits.
Last one, dick tits or dick tits?
Why would you do this? This is so bad. Put me in the alkaline water again, I guess.
He's going with dick tits. All right, we got him. For all you viewers and listeners out there, let us know what you would do. Let us know if what you thought he did was correct, or let us know if you would have a different answer and give us a reason why. And there we go. That was our rapid fire questions. And then our last one, which is my favorite. And I thought of this 2 weeks ago, Nick, whenever I thought maybe you might be one of our guests. For some reason, it just came to me and I thought this might put him in one of the toughest situations that we could do. So this is our patented Mary F. Kill. You know what Mary F. Kill is, right? Okay, here we go. Your three people are Aaron Hernandez. You know who that is?
Yep.
OJ Simpson.
Come on.
Or Curtis Painter. And for all you viewers and listeners out there, Curtis Painter is a Purdue University quarterback. He is probably the worst worst quarterback in Purdue history. He also ended up playing for the Colts, and in 2011, he took the Colts to a 2-14 record with 2 wins, 14 losses. Worst quarterback probably in Colts history. If you know our guest, Nick Bragin, he is a huge IU fan. He lived in Bloomington. He bleeds crimson and white, and he would hate to marry Curtis Painter. But would he rather marry Curtis Painter and kill and fuck a killer? 2 killers? Or would he rather marry a killer and kill Curtis Painter? I don't know. It's crazy. So we have Aaron Hernandez, OJ Simpson, and Curtis Painter.
That's a really tough position. You hit the nail on the head with Curtis Painter. We know what happens to OJ.
Yeah.
What's that?
Sorry, no, you're speaking just correctly. Go ahead.
We know what happens to OJ's wife or wives, ex-lovers, so you can't marry him. He's already dead. So there's no moral issue with killing him. So probably go there.
Hernandez is dead too. Just to let you know. If you didn't hear.
But I can't.
So we're killing OJ.
Yeah.
Cancel.
Well, I mean, Hernandez.
I just want you to say you were going to marry Curtis Painter. And
that will make my day. Is that what you want from me? Was that the whole setup for this entire thing?
That was the setup, but I want you to answer honestly.
Fine. I'll marry Curtis Painter. Are you happy?
Marrying Curtis Painter.
But then,
a university or a Purdue graduate, a Purdue quarterback. He destroyed the Colts.
Don't love this game.
I guess you could say he helped build back the Colts. He started the process.
I guess, yeah.
That's the only positive.
He was the catalyst that started a rebuild.
So you're marrying Curtis Painter, you're killing OJ, and then what are you doing with Aaron Hernandez?
I'm not gonna say it out loud. I'm not. You're not gonna get me saying that.
You can say effing.
I don't even want to say that. I don't want. It's implied.
We already know the answer.
It's implied because we've thrown out the other 2 options. So just
you win. Okay, so
you win.
He's effing Aaron. Yeah. So
I'm feeling really inspired now.
My hopes and dreams for the past 2 weeks, knowing that you're coming on, has just been fulfilled because I wanted to throw that out there. I just wanted to make you marry someone that you completely oppose. You did the right thing. I mean, you killed and effed killers. By the way, he effed Aaron Hernandez. Nick Bragin is effing Aaron Hernandez. He's killing OJ, canceled. And then he is marrying Curtis Painter.
This whole show's out of control.
A Purdue graduate. Anna, her husband, is a traitor. Because I know she's an IU alumni. She's very upset with you right now. But
probably not for just that, but
probably not for just that. Anyways, I thought we hit it home with those 3 questions. I mean, we gave you some really tough Spitfire questions.
I'm feeling probably really
these are my favorite. I think these are some of my favorite Spitfire questions because I knew that the Mary F. Kill was going to get you, and then the other ones were just on par. But anyways,
well, Nick,
we love you, Nick.
Appreciate you doing this with us, dude.
Yeah, before we get off, we should ask our question.
Yeah. So last week, we had our brother-in-law Josh Kern on, and at one point in the episode, we were talking about when me and a bunch of other friends at one point we called into a radio show. It was essentially a podcast way back in the day, and we spoke with there were 3 celebrities on the show that we got through to and talked to. What were the names of one of the celebrities that I told I have a huge hairy nutsack to?
Yeah, so
if you know the answer to that.
Yeah, name one of the celebrities that when Kevin called these celebrities and told them he has a huge hair nutsack, name one of the celebrities and you will be a winner. There was 3 of them. So you have a good chance.
Yeah.
And let us know. You can comment in the video section. You can email us at twobroswithbenefits@gmail.com. Let us know, and you can win some. What was it called, Kevin? What are we calling it now? Super sweet swag.
Super sweet swag. Yeah.
Super sweet swag.
That's an inspirational name I came up with today.
Yeah, you're so inspirational. And Nick, you're very inspirational in the fact that I know
you stuck
a lot
through
more
this. That
about
was
you.
Tough.
Yeah, it was tough. I know how you met your wife, which I'd never heard, and I really love that. I know that you would rather be thrown back into our waterway system instead of watching your parents have sex on video, and as well as you'd probably be thrown in the agitator as far as marrying Curtis Painter. And that poor guy, I'm sure he's out there somewhere, and he's going to maybe listen to this someday, and he's going to be very upset with you.
He's totally listening to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey,
anyways, we love you, dude. We really appreciate you. Yeah, that was my whole point was try to make you look silly, and I feel like
we
it was
did
mission
just
accomplished.
That.
Yeah.
Yep.
But hell, Nick, I do have one other question though for you before we get off.
Yeah. Honestly, we love you, dude. But last question is
so the
last
last
question of all.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.